This week on the Organized Life podcast.
You keep saying, if only I had help. And the truth is, help is already living under your roof. The problem is you're not asking for it or demanding it. Most parents fall into the same trap, doing everything themselves without their kids and leaving their kids sitting on devices and complaining. Their kids are complaining about chores or pretending I don't know how to do it. Or here's the big one, I forgot. If we had $1 for every time our kids said that, we would be rich. Listen, these kids, they pretend they forgot. No, they just didn't want to do it, okay? Welcome to episode 9 of the Organized Life podcast, where we are creating a movement with powerful organizing strategies and systems that save you space, time, energy, and money. I am your host, Tequila Renee, the life organizing strategist and the owner of Extreme Audacity Organized Solutions. Yes, we are diving into another great conversation around organization. So far, we've talked about systems, how your organizing systems and strategies that you put in place should save you in all 4 areas: space, time, energy, and money. We've talked about what organization is and what it is not, how to get organized. That was a big one. You got to go get that in the blog form. It gives you all the details on how to actually do your own organizing session. Okay, so if you want to DIY it, go grab that one, how to get organized. In the blog form, you can definitely listen to it on any major platforms and on YouTube. We talked about how to stay organized, how to streamline your mornings, how to train up your child. I gave you 5 practical ways to support your child on their organizing journey. All right. Then we talked about back to school, how to protect your peace this school year, right? When it comes to organization and how, like, the way you live and flow on a daily basis, how we can use some systems and strategies to protect our peace. Last week, we talked about laundry transformation. I gave you 6 steps to keep your laundry organized and stress-free. I am one of the rare people that enjoy doing laundry, so I've mastered laundry. I am the laundry guru. So I have all the things that can help you get organized when it comes to laundry. Laundry is one of the big things. It's one of the most needed things in the home, yet most avoided. Okay. So laundry transformation was last week. Today, what are we talking about? At the end of last week's podcast, I talked about, well, it wasn't the end, but close to the end, how I can help you with your children. I have 2 of my own, and I think I did a pretty good job. Only time will tell. They're 21 and 22. My oldest is about to be 23. No, how old are my kids? They're 20 and 21. Let me slow down, okay? They are 20 and 21. They are 22 months apart. So he'll be 22 coming up. Okay. So I know a thing or 3 about raising kids in an organized home. My children know how to be organized. Now, my oldest, he has it down packed. Don't mess with his strategies and systems that he's put in place. Listen, he gets cranky. Okay. My youngest, he knows, but that's a whole nother story. All right. So this week, we are talking about parenting with a purpose. All right. We are talking about how to empower your kids to contribute. Okay. I think after episode 10, I won't run it back for you guys anymore. So I just ran it back, all the episodes we talked about. I don't think I'll run it back anymore. I have some special guests coming up. I'm so excited. You guys, it's just going to be great. Okay. But listen, if you missed any of those podcasts, blogs, or anything, you want to go back and check it out. They were great, if I might say so myself. Okay. But they build on each other. We talked about strategies and systems and how they can help you. So you want to go grab those. The conversation is going to shift a little bit. We're going to be talking to actually some real life people. It's going to be great. So go grab those if you have not done so. All right, so we are going to start off by talking about our caveat. Remember, the first episode, we talked about systems and how everything you do should save you space, time, energy, and money. This is our caveat. If whatever you are doing, whatever strategy, system, or plan you are putting in place is not saving you space, time, energy, and money, you have to revisit it, tweak it, rework it, re strategize, figure out what is missing, figure out what you're doing too much of, what's not working, all the things. Why? Because if it's not saving you in all four of those areas, you're losing out on something. Organization gives back to you, it does not take away. All right. So you got to rework it, and that's okay. I talked about that in the last episode. It's okay to have to rework it, to reframe it, re strategize it, all the things. It's okay. All right. So I've put some systems in place, and I've had to rework them in a new season of my life. Or I put them in place and they only lived for a short time because I didn't like it. It wasn't working for me. So you just have to figure out what works for you, but you always want to revisit it, rework it. If it's costing you time, if it's costing you extra energy, if it's costing you extra money, if it's costing you extra space, figure it out and rework it. Okay. All right. So here's my request again. If you have a topic that you would like to discuss, or if you want to be on the platform as a guest and do a live coaching session with me, I would love to have you. I promise not to embarrass you. I promise you it will be fun. I'm a fun person. I hope you think so. I think I am. And so I love for my clients to feel comfortable in their mess, and I help them to feel safe, and it's okay. That's one of my gifts. Okay, that's one of my superpowers, is to help people feel comfortable in their mess and then help to bring them out of the mess. All right. With that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so today we are talking about parenting with a purpose. What I was saying earlier is I talked about how I can help you with your kids, but I can't help you with your partner. You got to have a therapy session for that. That's what I talked about at the end of the last episode. Listen, I can help you with your kids. I love kids, especially love teenagers. That's one of my spaces where I can help people feel really safe. Teenagers feel really safe around me, and they just pour out. And so I pour into them, and we pour into each other. So I can help you with your children. So today we're talking about parenting with a purpose, empowering kids to contribute. Okay. So in Proverbs 13:24, the Bible says, if you spare the rod, you will spoil the child. Listen, we have enough spoiled, untrained, untamed kids in the world. Okay? We don't need any more. So we have to start young. You can't wait until they're older to try to tame them and get them trained to do certain things. You got to start young. If you spare the rod, you will spoil the child. We don't need any more of those, all right? So listen, I know you're tired, you're overwhelmed, you're frustrated, and just sick of these kids. The house is a mess. The laundry is never ending, and no one seems to care that you're juggling work, business, dinner, the schedule, and a million other responsibilities. Right? You keep saying, if only I had help. And the truth is, help is already living under your roof. Okay? The problem is you're not asking for it or demanding it. Okay? Most parents fall into the same trap, doing everything themselves without their kids, and leaving their kids sitting on devices and complaining. Their kids are complaining about chores or pretending, I don't know how to do it. Or here's the big one, I forgot. If we had $1 for every time our kids said that, we would be rich. Listen, these kids, they pretend they forgot. No, they just didn't want to do it, okay? We wouldn't need to work. Give me every time that said, I need $1. I need $1. Hey, 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 hey. All right. But the truth is, we've created the monsters. We've created this culture in our home by giving our children a pass. And why do we do that? Because we're tired of asking. We think we can do it faster, which we probably can. But listen, my oldest, one day he's gonna be a much better cook than me. You heard me what I said. I said one day, not today, but one day. That boy can cook, and he is good. His food tastes so good, and it's not because um he just magically learned how to cook. I pushed him to cook. I pushed both of my boys to cook, but he now enjoys it, and he can clean like nobody's business. My youngest son, he does not enjoy the things, but he can do them. When he's challenged to do them, he will show up and he will do it. He can cook and he can clean. Okay, so whoever they marry, they are going to get a jewel because my kids can cook, they can clean, they can do laundry, they can do all the things. They can take care of a house by themselves. I'll tell you one thing, my son, my youngest, he does not like cooking, but he will never starve. Okay? Because when he wants to, he gets in there and cook, but he doesn't really enjoy it like my oldest son. And that's okay, right? So perfectly, they'll be okay. Anyways, all right, so I digress. But listen, we don't ask our kids for help because we fear their response. We tiptoe around asking them for help because we dread their attitudes, the size, the outright refusal, or maybe even the disrespect. Well, listen, that's one thing I never tolerated and still don't tolerate it, even in my kids' old age, right? They might say something or, do something behind my back, but I'll never see it. And guess what? They know it. I don't play with disrespect. That's one thing I don't tolerate. Listen, they've learned if they pout or procrastinate, we'll back down. But here's what I need you to remember: our kids are capable of more than what we give them credit for. They can do more than you ask them to do. And here's the kicker: in many cases, they can do it better than you think they can. Okay? So, parenting with a purpose, what does that mean? When you parent with a purpose, you're parenting with intentionality, right? With not just today in mind, but their future in mind. You're pushing them towards who they are becoming. And if you allow them to sit around as kids, guess what? They're going to sit around as adults. Parents who want to live the organized life often feel like they're failing because their home never feels peaceful, put together, or, no matter how hard they try, they feel like they're spending their days cleaning up, putting things away, managing schedules, and trying to create order. But it still feels like they're drowning in the never ending cycle of clutter and chaos. All right. You want your home to feel like a sanctuary, a place for relaxation and exhale and to recharge, right? We crave a calm structure and we crave systems, right? And systems that actually stick. But instead, you're constantly resetting your space, repeating the same instructions, and carrying the weight of everyone's responsibility on your shoulder. You do not have to take all of this on yourself. When you're the only one doing the work, it's more than just exhausting, it feels defeating. Your home, which should feel like a place of rest, starts to feel like another job, right? And the people who live there, yep, the ones you love most, start to feel like those crazy coworkers who aren't pulling their weight. And we all hate that feeling, don't we? Yes. The imbalance creates resistance. It creates burnout and a sense of failure. Not just because you are not doing enough, but because you're doing way too much. So here's the truth. You can't create an organized life by yourself when you have a house full of capable people. Listen, come closer. Capable people that are capable of making a mess. Guess what? They're capable of cleaning it up. I know. Listen. Yes. I'm so serious. It's crazy, right? Yes. They're capable of making the mess. So guess what? They're capable of cleaning it up. All right. So, on a serious note, a peaceful and productive home requires participation from everyone, not perfection, but participation. When everyone contributes to the burden of the house, the burden is lifted. It feels lighter, and the home becomes what it's meant to be, a space of support, structure, and shared success. You might think, they don't do it right. It's faster if I do it myself. Or I just don't have the energy to fight them. Listen, these feelings are real. They are valid. And guess what? They may even be true. However, okay, they lead to real burnout, as you already know. So we got to do some reframing, okay? If your child can work a smartphone, if they can stream on Netflix, if they can build an entire Minecraft world, guess what? They can certainly learn to clean a bathroom, load a dishwasher, or help manage their schedule. The problem isn't their ability. The problem is our inability to request and or demand help, to encourage and empower our children to do what's best for the family. Okay? It's our parenting and our expectations that are actually failing, not the kids. It really is us more than it is them. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about empowering and how we can start treating chores like life skills. Children are not born knowing how to clean, organize, and manage time, but they can learn and they actually should. It's a skill that can be developed. The home is more than just a place to eat and sleep, it's the training ground for life. And if we don't teach our children how to manage their responsibilities, their routine, and real world expectations now, they will not magically figure it out. Okay? Instead, they'll enter adulthood overwhelmed, disorganized, and unequipped to handle life's demands. They won't just struggle with chores, they'll struggle with managing time, keeping commitments, and maintaining their own peace in their own home. Okay? So without these foundational skills, they risk repeating the same cycles many of us are trying to break. Working hard, but feeling behind. Constantly cleaning up, but never feeling caught up. Pouring out to everyone else without, feeling that we're getting poured into and feeling burnt out. Okay? We aren't giving them tasks, we're giving them tools. Tools that build confidence, respect, and the ability to thrive under pressure. When we empower our children to contribute to the home, we prepare them to manage their own future with clarity, structure, and ownership. One of the most powerful mindsets to adopt is this: chores are not punishment, they are preparation. Did you hear me what I just said? Chores are not punishment, they are preparation. Giving your child age appropriate responsibilities does not make you mean, okay? It makes you intentional. It means you are raising a human that will contribute and solve problems, okay? And walking into adulthood with confidence and not confusion. So listen, y'all. These kids are capable of more. You shouldn't be surprised when your kids can do certain things. You'd be surprised what your kids can actually do when you stop assuming that they can't. Studies show that children as young as 3 can help sort laundry, wipe down a table, right? Put toys away. By middle school, they should be helping cook meals, organize their room, manage their basic schedule, okay? And they can complete the full laundry cycle. Check out last week's blog, podcast, whichever you choose on YouTube. You can check that out. And I talk about the full laundry cycle. Your middle schoolers can start doing their own laundry. Mine did. Okay. High schoolers, they can mow the lawn, budget their allowance. They can go to the grocery store if they're driving. They can even meal prep. Okay. Everything I'm telling you guys was implemented in my home. And this was before I knew the study. I learned the study when I started doing this as a career. But my kids actually started doing these things at a very, very young age, okay? I'm raising up men that I would like to see in the world, okay? Everything I'm telling y'all, they did it. I didn't know about this before. But what I did know is that I wasn't going to take care of them all on my own. They had to take some responsibility for their own life. The secret is consistency and following through. Once a task becomes an expectation, it's not an occasional favor, right? It becomes a part of their life, a habit, right? It's a part of their lifestyle. And it allows them to create their own systems, okay? Organization should become a lifestyle, not a lecture, all right? So here's a good one. Stop letting the attitudes dictate the conversation. I know this is a challenge for many parents because we don't want to deal with the eye rolls. Listen, yes, they will test you. These kids are crazy, okay? But you are the parent. Your leadership requires discomfort, okay? You're not just raising roommates, you're raising the future adults. If you back down every time your child pushes back, you're teaching them that resistance wins. And guess what? That's not how the real life works. Try this. Schedule a time to have conversation to make requests. We used to call ours family time. Okay. So we would have family time where we have conversation and then we will play games. So it would be a little bit intense at the beginning, but it would end fun, right? This allows you to have mental preparation and even for them to have mental preparation. Pray before the meetings or whatever it is you need to do to align yourself. If it's just a woosah. For me, I like to pray. That's my thing. But whatever it is that you need to do to align yourself, that's what you need to do. And then you want to make sure you're remaining calm, but you also want to hold the line. follow through and create and give consequences and rewards. Don't argue. Okay, let me say it again. Don't argue. Okay, you want to make sure you keep your non negotiables. I would say don't negotiate, but listen, for those older kids, negotiations can be healthy. Okay, maybe negotiate on the time, but not necessarily the action. Okay, you got to choose what your non negotiables are and stand firm on them. Some things can be negotiated. I do negotiate on when tasks can be done. I do not negotiate on the actual task, right? Just make sure you have your non negotiables. Okay, so and you want to make sure that your expectations are clear and stick with it and implement those consequences as needed and rewards. Okay. In time, they'll respect you for the structure that you've created. It'll outweigh their discomfort with it. An organized home isn't built on silence, it's built on structure. Okay. So make it easier for your children with the right tools. Okay. So let's talk about that. Oftentimes, our kids need systems just as we do as adults. So you can empower them with the right tools, making sure they have the right things that they need to get the job done, making sure the routine is clear and durable. Try creating a family command center. I talk about the family command center in another podcast. But listen, a family command center is magical. It helps everybody to have responsibilities visible. It encourages time management and allows everyone to take ownership of their own task and their own week, especially for those older children. And younger children, they can see the things, so it's visual. The visual systems, they help to reduce nagging and promote independence. So, next, inside of the Family Command Center, you can actually introduce the checklist, right? So, it helps with the daily responsibilities, right? You can turn those routines into predictable actions. Children respond well to structure when they can see it, when they can follow it, and they can check it themselves. This is how you create the momentum, not by yelling, but by equipping them with the right tools. Okay? All right, so let's talk about progress over perfection. I know a lot of us want to be perfect or want our children to be perfect, or maybe you don't. However, it's not going to be perfect, right? Your child will fold the tiles how they fold them, which is probably not going to be up to your standard, right? They'll forget a chore or two. We need $1 for every time they say they forgot, but that's okay. All right. But we want to extend grace, okay? The forgotten, we want to keep them to a minimum, and that will help with the Family Command Center. Them folding the towels wrong, that's okay. Refold them later. Don't let them see you refold it. But you just teach them how to do it and show them the correct way that you want it done. The goal isn't perfection, it's preparation and participation. Every moment they engage in the household system is a step towards maturity and shared responsibility. Even in organized life, it progresses over time. It often feels like chaos and motion, but you just want to stick with it. You want to teach through modeling, okay? Now, this is so important, teaching through modeling. Children absorb what they see more than what they hear. We all know that, and if you don't, you know it now, okay? If you want them to value organization, they have to see you model it. Let's be clear. They need to hear you say certain things. Maybe something like, let's try this. Let's reset the kitchen together. right? Allow them to participate. Or you can say something like, if you do this in your room, it may help save you some time or some space. All right. This helps with them being able to like figure it out on their own. Okay. So the more they see organization as a normal thing, the more they'll be able to mirror it. It becomes a part of the family structure and their lifestyle. And when they contribute and they are doing a good job, or even just contributing, just acknowledge it. Celebrate the progress. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate your help, right? Highlight what they do well, not just you didn't do a thing. An organized life starts at home. If you want your life to be submerged with peace and productivity, you got to start by activating your team that you already have, empowering your children as much as possible to be your partners in the home, teaching them the strategies and systems, and maybe even one day allowing them to create the strategy and the system, right? And hold them accountable. Let them rise to the occasion. And don't be surprised when they do. You're not just creating a cleaner home. You're creating confidence, capable children. Kids who can one day manage their own home, their own families, their own future without depending on someone to clean up after them, to take care of them. This is what the organized life is all about. Okay? We're parenting with a purpose. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Listen, remember, if you have a topic that you would like to discuss on this platform, I would love for you to send us an email at info@extremeaudacity.com, or if you want to be a guest, you can email us at info@extremeaudacity.com. And remember, it's a lifestyle, not magic. Ciao.